Alright, so we're on Bear's Den again, and we have two updates to look at. Probably not going to get much of it actually built or tested. We're just going to kind of go through them. Econ came and joined us so he can kind of help me remember some of the changes from, because he just got done updating to the last pre-2 and getting a lot of that stuff built, where we haven't gotten much of it built. We've been dragging our feet and pissing and moaning and all that good stuff. And so he remembers some of the recipes that I might have forgot. I've got the list of commits here. I'm going to post it in the stream for anybody that can read it. I can't read it for crap. But I'm going to somewhat attempt it. The main things that we've been looking at that we know have changed is the steam cracking and the hydro cracking of everything apparently has gotten cheaper if it's done in a chemical reactor. It used to be you could only do the lightly cracking in the chemical reactor at LV. Now you can do all of the cracking at LV. So, and didn't it take extra? Wasn't it more steam per whatever it was? Or was that only the hydro cracking? Let me look here. Where's the hydro cracked? Okay, the hydro crack still takes 3 cells if you're doing severely, but the steam only takes 1. I didn't look at the steam cracking because I never liked the idea of steam cells for cracking. So maybe that only took 1 cell. But the weird thing about it is the oil cracking unit is now 240 or 480, so it's more expensive to use the oil cracker to do it than it is the chemical reactor. 1,000, 1,000, you get 1,000 out.
The EU charge for the oil cracking hasn't changed. They left that be.
Okay. So the only thing really different between using a chemical reactor and the cracking unit is you get 200 more amounts of whatever it is you're cracking out. You put 1,000 units of whatever the base material is, 1,000 units of steam, and you get out 800 in a chemical reactor. You get 1,000 out in the oil cracker. I still don't understand the logic in this, because to me, 200 extra units of whatever the hell it is not worth setting up an entire oil cracker to do it when you can do it in an LV chemical reactor. I so don't understand that. I understood it more when only the LV could be done, or the lightly could be done in the LV. Now that you can do all of them in the LV, completely doesn't make sense to me. I don't even know why you would do the lightly. Because, say, take naphtha here. If you do lightly steam cracked naphtha in a distillation tower, you get 75, 150, 40, 150, 80, 150, 15, 200. The main thing being these 3 up here. You get 200 methane, 200 ethylene, and 35 ethane. If you look at the moderately, oh, that's hydrocrack. Where's the freaking? Hold on. Severely cracked, severely cracked. Moderately steam cracked. Alright, damn it. We're just going to go to naphtha. It's easier. Okay. Lightly steam cracked. Where's the moderately steam cracked? Moderately steam cracked. Okay. So it's going to be 350, 350, and 50. Where this one was 200, 235. And then the severely is going to be... Oh, that's hydro again. Damn it. Get the right one. Severely hydro. Severely steam. There we go. It's going to be 500, 565. So I'm guessing you're going to get less of these lower things out. But the important ones that you're going to want is the methane for power, the ethylene for plastic, and the ethane to make more ethylene for plastic. You can do the other things for plastic too, but I don't know why you would really want more of this lower stuff, at least from what I've looked at here. And then the hydro cracking is just going to give you ethane, methane, butane, and propane. So you don't even get the ethylene if you do the hydro. You have to do the steam cracking to get the ethylene, apparently. So I really don't understand that change whatsoever. There was also pipes that were added in this change, which one of them I have issues with, just because I'm used to playing with GT6, and that is aluminum as an item pipe. In GT6, it's a fluid pipe, so that's just going to be annoying as shit. And when you add nickel for an alternative to brass, and cobalt as a alternative to electrum, I don't really understand the need for aluminum as an item pipe. I think it would have been better as a fluid pipe, so you're not having to waste copper and bronze. You can use aluminum at that point. You don't have to waste steel. There's also a PVC, which is the same equivalent as electrum. Or no, that's the same equivalent as platinum, because it does 4 stacks a second. So the new ones are nickel, which is 1 stack a second, same as brass. Cobalt and aluminum, same as electrum, which is 2 stacks a second. And then PVC for a replacement to platinum. Wait a minute. Yeah, for platinum. And these are all GT Plus ones. Is there a new fluid pipe? I don't think there's a new fluid pipe at all. I think those are all still the same plastic. There is a PTFE, but that might have been added a little while back. I can't remember if that was in the last update or not. Which is polytetrafluoroethylene, so that's Teflon. And it's 1600 liters a second. So it's going to be an equivalent of titanium. And there's also a plasma containment pipe, but I think that was added a while back as well, about the same time as the high pressure were added. Let's see. I'll look up the commits here so I can remember what it was I was looking at. Oh, there's also a wrought iron pipe, which is 1 stack a second, same as brass. Forgot about that one. Okay, so that's all the pipes that were added. The Pyroluce oven coils. This is an actual big change that I really agree with. I've been complaining about this forever. And that is you can now use copper nickel coils. It'll just be 50% the speed. And then you can also use the Canthal, which is the FEALCR, at 100%, nichrome 150%, and tungsten steel 200%, and etc. So now the Pyroluce oven, as soon as you can make MV stuff, you should be able to make it without any issue. So it is no longer gated behind the vacuum freezer where it was before when it needed Canthal coils. So you'll be able to get the charcoal byproduct that you need for the epoxy earlier now. There's these unstables, but I don't know what those are in the commits. I'm trying to see here. M average EU input. Yeah, I have no idea what these things mean. I don't read code, so.
Looks like we've had some texture changes too.
Like what?
The large chemical reactor is different, and so is the Pyroluce oven.
Yeah, the Pyroluce oven definitely looked a different color. It didn't look like it was... I was wondering if that was just me. But the casings are still the same. The maintenance hatch, the Pyroluce oven, and the energy hatch changed. But the casings are still the same color, so now it just looks kind of goofy. But I think that might be the same issue that GT++ was causing with something else, which I think is the large chemical reactor. That's going to be fixed in the next one. I guess the casings are in... well, no, that's casing issue, not the main control block issue. So, actually, I don't know, because I know some of the casings got mixed up on which ones were GT Plus and which ones were Greg Tech. Auto crafter, we'll get to that later. Where the hell is the large chemical reactor? Oh, there it is. Large chemical reactor. Yeah, I don't remember it looking like that last update. That actually looks like a GT++ texture. Let's see. There was a rebalance to the ash recipe when you centrifuge it. So, ashes, you now centrifuge them to a 99% chance of getting small piles of quicklime, 64% chance at small pile of potash, 60% chance of a small pile of magnesia, and then a 5% chance of phosphorus pentoxide, a 50% chance at soda ash, tiny pile, and 25% chance at a tiny pile of banded iron. The quicklime is basically just calcium and oxygen, so stuff to make fertilizer. Potash is potassium and oxygen, so more stuff for making fertilizer, basically. Magnesia is a way of getting magnesium and oxygen. Phosphorus pentoxide is a way of getting phosphor. and oxygen. And soda ash is going to be sodium and carbon and oxygen. So that might help a little bit with getting sodium for the super fuel binder. And it looks like I didn't see anything in the commits about it, but the burn time on carbon has been removed, which I agree with completely. Carbon should not be straight burnable. Just like you can't burn a diamond straight, you shouldn't be able to burn carbon straight. And then banded iron was just iron and oxygen. Everybody knows what banded iron is. The change still isn't in here for the metallurgy type stuff in the roasting stuff in the blast furnace, and the bronze or clay blast furnaces, which is the one I'm really looking forward to. Stone Dust says that it was rebalanced as well, and I don't remember us actually taking it out, even though I disagreed with it strongly. But I cannot find a recipe for centrifuging it anymore. So apparently that is just deleted completely rather than rebalanced, which I'm glad that one got removed, because that's something that can be made infinitely with a cobblestone generator and a macerator. Let's see. Unstable cracking, ash stone. There was a distillery recipe fix. Reduce the batch size if fluid amount is exceeded. Oh yeah, there was an issue where I think Ilrith was telling me about that, where some of the things for the distillery were calling for more than the 1,000 units that can be in there for the recipe. So they had to fix a few of them so they would actually be able to be done in the distillery. There's a multi-block fluid IO fix, but I am not quite sure exactly what that one is. It's a fluid allowed, fluid amount, add stack to slot. Not real sure because I can't read the code very well. Hey, Creeper. I didn't even realize you were here yet. Let's see. The Teflon pipe was done with the chemistry update. Yeah, I heard that the freezer can be done sooner. I'm going to look at that here in a second when I look at the circuits. I was actually hoping Crazy would stay here for that part because she's been doing our circuits, but she's decided to take off to bed.
It still takes epoxy in that recipe.
Let's look at the freezer. So the vacuum freezer needs... Mainframe is what we used to get to it. Your aluminum frame, workstation, small coils, capacitors, random access memory, and a neo copper cable. The workstations take the epoxy circuit board, processor assemblies, which also take the epoxy. So I'm not quite sure what was supposed to be making this any easier.
I don't think it's changed yet.
Yeah, I don't think that change has gotten in there. At one time, they were talking about changing so it only needed one of the elite circuits, and the other two circuits would be a lower grade, but I never heard of what was coming out of that one. Let's see. I'm not real sure what all has changed with the chemistry stuff, because in the merge thing, I don't see anything about any of the chemistry changes or even the circuit rebalancing, unless that's in one of the other ones I'm not seeing here. Wetware was supposed to be changed to not require beer, and that's definitely still the same. It still needs dragon blood. So the circuit changes did not come in yet. Apparently. Let's see. I think Bloody didn't merge that part yet. Asked him about it when he did the merges, because I didn't see it in there along with Pyro Metallurgy. Yeah, I know a lot of people have been complaining about the wetware processors taking beer, which I always thought was kind of dumb myself. So that's what I know of that has changed in the pre-release. It's going to make cracking easier, Pyroloose easier, or obtainable earlier, I guess, usable earlier. So I'm going to take a look at the GT Plus things now. If anybody has any other questions about GT shit, throw it at me and I'll check it out. Let's see. Before I start on the GT Plus, I'll say the same thing here I said in the Discord for GT Plus is this is supposed to be a release version. There's a whole lot of shit that's still work in progress. I'm not quite sure how it's a release version. So don't take the fact that it says release as all the old work in progress shit is now going to be working, because no, it sure as hell isn't. One thing that is nice about this is Alcalus has added a tag to most everything he's added. So you can just type ALK and that will give you most of the shit that he's added. Let's see. But apparently not everything, because the first thing I'm trying to look at ain't showing up, which is he's added these RTG. There's a radioscopic thermoelectric generator added by GT Plus. No recipe, so don't go crazy. And if we look up pellets, you have 4 different pellets here. There's plutonium pellets, SR. What the fuck is SR? Is that strontium? PO, that is... Oh, damn it. He's gonna make me frickin' get my damn... periodic table up here just to figure out what these are. Let's see. SR would be... Still think that's strontium. Strontium, however the fuck you pronounce it. I don't even see SR on here. Oh goodness, now the dog's gonna go psycho because somebody's outside. Or driving down the road. I seriously don't see SR on this fucking table. Oh yeah, right there it is, SR. Strontium. So yeah, I was actually right on one. And then PO. Fuck is PO? There's PU, PA, PM, PR. Give me 1 second. Let me holler so it'll shut up. PT, PD, PO. That's potassium. So, wait a minute. That's not potassium. That's polonium. Oh, what the hell that shit is. And then americium is AM. So that's the 4 new RTG pellets. None of them being craftable yet either. So like I said, whole lot of work in progress shit. Don't get excited. Let's see. Gave them a texture, material generator. Yeah, we'll skip all that crap because that's just about the RTG. That doesn't actually do anything yet. He added tesseracts, which I do believe there is an issue I heard about where it gets used up or doesn't take power. So if anybody remembers the old tesseracts from GT4, they are back now with a tesseract terminal, tesseract generator from GT++. They actually do have recipes. So you have master circuits, titanium plates, ender chest, the GregTech computer cube. I think that's what was getting used up, if I remember correctly. Which takes master circuits, data orbs, computer monitors, and an EV machine hall to make. And then the terminal, which is the same thing except it doesn't use the cube, it just uses the EV machine hall. And basically they're just like tesseracts from TE, thermal expansion. Just in a more power-hungry GregTech way. They were always a little bit funky trying to understand the way that you connected them and stuff, but once everything gets worked out with them, I'll make some and check them out, play around with them a little bit. They apparently take HV power even though they're EV based. There's a cyclotron that was supposedly added. This is supposed to be a way of getting things infinitely, I guess. It says, so far does nothing but will create obscure resources at a high cost of power. And there's a coil here and the outer casing, but I don't see the actual, because this molecular cyclone, this is actually a centrifuge. So I don't see the actual block for the cyclotron, just the coils and the outer casing. It doesn't say exactly what you can get from it in here. It just says obscure resources, so I'm guessing osmium, iridium, maybe some other like fusion type stuff, not sure. GT4 content that was added. There's also a thermal boiler. Again, work in progress, so you can't make it. This is supposed to work like the old thermal boiler from GT4, where you put lava in, you get steam out, and if you put filters into it, you can get the stuff like the electrum, the tin, the copper. That's at least the way it worked in GT4. So it would basically be a more compact version of what I have here, with the heat exchanger and the centrifuge upstairs that takes the Pahoe lava and centrifuges it. You'd have the centrifuge and the heat exchanger all in one, and then the boiler itself here will put out steam that you then put into your turbines or tanks if you're econ. Just store that shit up forever. Let's see, multi-block crafter. Seen that a minute ago. Again, work in progress, no recipe. I don't even remember that from GT4. But I'm guessing it's a way of crafting shit, obviously. And then the shelves that were in GT4, I never really used them. So I don't know a whole lot about them. I do know there's a wood variety and a metal variety. So here's the wood encased, the metal encased. Just places to store shit, basically. And this is the simple washer. We'll get to that later, but since it's here, I might as well look at it. It's basically like an automated cauldron for washing dust. It gives you no byproducts, as the tooltip says, but it's fast. So it's just a way of washing your shit before you can make an ore washer. Let's see, it takes wrought iron plates, an LV pump, a large clay fluid pipe, and an ULV machine casing, so you can make it before you can make steel. If you have, let's see, paper, tin, bronze, yeah, you can make it before you even make a blast furnace, because you can make a pump with paper rings now, and you don't need rubber for any of the cables, and just tin and bronze for the pump. Large clay pipe can be done with plates. Plates can be done in a steam compressor. They can be extruded, but that's 128, so that's something for being able to wash your ores quickly in the beginning. Let's see. Shelves, thermal boiler, pre-clean room circuits. So he added the 928 circuits, but they're missing recipes. So he's basically going to go back to add a config to where you can go back to the 28 build circuits or the 27 build circuits if you want the new stuff that's in GT5, but you don't want the circuit changes. It will be a config option. Although the new circuits will exist and have recipes, updating from a pre-28 world to 28 plus will allow automation to to continue working. New circuits produced will have correct ORDIC and will continue being used in recipes. Change the old circuit loading logic. And there's a whole lot of other things in here about it. But there's no recipes for it yet, so it doesn't really matter. Dark Pollution World. Added the base work for a new dimension. But it doesn't work yet. You can't go there. It's basically a dark, spooky dimension at this point. I think it actually hurts you a bit as well. I think you're made hell, fire, burn the dark wood, unstable earth. If I remember correctly, he said you just burn all the time you're in there. If you went in there right now. The tree farmer was added a few updates back. It's just something I really want to get made so I can test it out. This is the dirt that you use, or the structure block for the tree farmer, which is just dirt, wood, and a Tumbaga frame box. And then the tree farmer itself is that Eagline steel that finally got worked out and can be made by everybody. Steel pipe, steel cables, and an MV machine casing. It's just a multi-block tree farm, 15 by 15, too high apparently. And you use, I guess, podzol, humus, grass, or dirt in it. I think this is just the outside block, and then you put fences around that. I'll try this thing out soon, hopefully. There's some trees that were added specifically for it. Any tree should work. At least the vanilla ones I know work. I'm not sure about the like forestry and stuff like that. But there's a rainforest tree, which is just a huge ass freaking tree. But I don't know if there's a way of getting it yet. Where the hell is that damn sapling? That's a rainbow gum. That is not it. See, I may not even be able to see it because you had to have biomes of plenty, I think he said, for it to actually show up. But it's because it uses biomes of plenty way of making trees. But it's just a really tall, straight, huge ass freaking tree. Added some molecular base tree, log, leaf, sapling classes. Added biomes of plenty, rain, forest trees still need a bit of work. So yeah, it's biomes of plenty. It's a soft dependency, I guess. If you want that sapling, you got to use that. There's a fish trap that he added, which is this here. Nope, that's the wrong one. Where the hell's the fish trap? That's a Pam's fish trap. It's not his fish trap. Fish catcher. Okay, so it's a fish catcher, I guess. Which is iron bars around a wrought iron frame box. And the more sides you have open to the water, the more stuff it'll catch. I don't know if it needs bait or anything. Let me actually make one of these real quick and try it out. Let's see. Iron bars. Do we have any of those laying around? We got 2. Oh, we got a whole stack. There we go. Got those when we were in the... Oh shit, I forgot. You put wrought iron in an extruder, it changes it to fucking regular iron. We can lathe it though, right? Alright, where the hell's the lathe? Wasn't the lathe right there? Oh, here it is. Oh, now I have 8 iron bars we can use at some point. And while this is doing this, I'll go back and look at the chat and see if y'all have anything that I need to read here. Yes, you guys don't use GT++ on Fear the Night. Yeah, the pollution world is... I don't know. It's just a dark-ass dimension from what I've seen some pictures of it. There's not a whole lot added there yet. I have no idea why you would ever go there, what purpose it's going to have. He hasn't said a whole lot about what he's doing with it, just that it's kind of there. So I can't really answer that question, unfortunately. And I think I'm making too many of these, because don't I only need 4 for a frame box? No, I need 4 ingots. I need 8. I need 4 full ingots worth, but I need 8 of the bars. I have no idea if it's pollution based on Greg Tech or if it's pollution based on Thaumcraft. No clue. Let's throw this together here. There's a fish catcher. And since I have 2 of these, why not just make 2 of the damn things? Not sure if you can automate them. I'm going to take a hopper out, and I don't know how long it's going to take to pull anything from it. I know he said the more sides it had open to the water, the better it was. We really don't have any extra hoppers laying around here. Bear's drop box. Yep, Bear's box of crap. That's all that box is. Bear has a lot of boxes of crap. Okay, so let's go out. Put this down by my farm and check it out. Econ studying that open blocks book real well there. And we have a creeper. Come here, creeper. And creeper number 2. Alright, so if we need this all 6 sides by water, let's see if I can do this. There we go. Except that's going to actually put it here. And it doesn't look like it's going to take any bait, because it's just got... How the hell do you pick this thing up? There we go. Let's do this and this. Y'all can't see shit I'm doing down here, I'm sure. See if I hit the right button here. There we go. Night vision. Now y'all can see. Alright, so we'll just take out this piece of dirt. That piece of dirt. That'll give it all 6 sides open. And if somebody reminds me or I don't forget, we'll come back and see what kind of loot stuff it's got when we get all done here. Turn the damn night vision back off. Come on, night vision, go away before I get blind. If I look at any of these lights, I'm gonna frickin' blind my ass. Run my ass back in the factory. See what else we have added here. That is GT++. Alright, let's see. Fish trap. He fixed that the fish trap and rainforest oak sapling recipes only generated when Thaumcraft was not installed. So apparently they will work if it is now. Let's see. Advanced boiler. These I do believe do have recipes. That would be these right here. Produces 1,000 liters of steam per second. Produces 35 pollution per second. Uses an advanced boiler chassis. Tier 1, which is a vacuum tube, lead plates, small copper coils, ULV machine hull, large bronze fluid pipe. You need 2 of those, an LV machine casing or hull, huge steel pipe, steel gears, and a basic circuit. And then you have the advanced boiler, which is 1250 liters of steam a second and 50 pollution a second, which is the MV tier, which is going to use a good circuit, MV stuff, stainless steel pipes, silicon carbide gears, and advanced chassis number 2, which is steel plates, basic circuit, LV. These are some pretty good and expensive boilers here, but they produce a lot more steam than what the small ones do. This one, the bronze, is 120 liters a second. The high pressure is 300 liters a second. The lava is 600 units a second. So this creates even more at LV than the lava boilers do. And then you've got the MV and the HV versions. HV is 1,500 liters. So these are going to be almost going up to large boiler size. Let's see. Produces 32,000 liters of steam with 1 coal at 16,000 liters a second. And this is going to do 1,500, so it does a tenth of a large bronze boiler when the bronze boiler is fully heated. So then you have your HV version, which is titanium. Boys, don't start giving me crap now. I got to stream for 12 hours Sunday. Aluminum pipe, stainless steel pipe, MV, and good circuits for the advanced boiler, and then MV, titanium, and silicon carbide. So how in the world do we make silicon carbide? Carbon and silicon in the advanced alloy blast melter. I still got to get this thing made. Let's see. So that's the advanced boilers. I'm not going to make those. Tonight is basically just looking at what was added and giving you guys a look at what is in there. Actual testing of most of it I'll do later on, one at a time. Let's see. Now they won't burn fuel once they're at 80% temp, so it's not wasted. Apparently, with those boilers. Let's see. Chemical dehydrator. That has a recipe now, last I checked. Chemical bath, chemical reactor, chemical dehydrator. There it is. So, this thing is EV or better. Just the version 1 is EV. You have an IV, an LUV, and a ZPM version. Most of what's in here is for the recipes for it is for the thorium bed reactor, which still doesn't have a recipe as far as I know. But you got dehydrator coils. I think we looked at this last time we did one of these, which are coil wires, which are nichrome wires in a laser engraver, and a pipe. And that's basically the only thing that isn't standard with that. What in the hell are you asking me, Assassin? I'm obviously using Forge. I'm fucking playing a modded game on a modded server. What the hell else would I be using? But you can, let's see, what was that? Trying to think here. Is it Lepo? I think it's Lepo that I was wanting to do in it. There it is, chemical dehydrator. So sulfuric acid, lepidolite dust at 1000 EU a tick. You can get potassium, aluminum, oxygen, fluorine, lithium carbonate, and sulfuric lithium mix. Now, the good thing about this is you get the lithium mix stuff that you need for the thorium bed reactor. Bad thing is you lose all the lithium you would get because there's no way of taking this sulfuric lithium mix and getting it back to regular lithium. You get lithium 7. So if you need lithium 7 for that stuff, it's good. If you actually just want to get lithium out of it, stick with electrolyzing it. But the recipes you have in here is you can use. Why you would make an EV machine to make raisins this only sounds like something Greg would do, in my opinion. To use such an OP freaking machine just to make fucking raisins. Let's see, the sulfuric lithium mix can dehydrate it. You can take lithium hydroxide, turn it into lithium hydroxide dust. Again, I do believe that's only for the thorium bed reactor. You can put ethanol in and get ethylene and water. Did I say that right? Ethanol in, ethylene out. Again, this is 80 EU a tick, but you have to be up to EV before you can do this. You can put quicklime dust in, get water and hydrated lime dust. Hydrated lime dust is a component for this compound, which again is for the thorium bed reactor. Let's see, fluorite dust, sulfuric acid will give you gold, tin, copper, silver, hydrofluoric acid, and gypsum. Hydrofluoric acid, again, I do believe is for that reactor. Cooked zirconium chloride 4, industrial strength hydrofluoric acid, IC2 hydrogen chloride. Apparently they need to fix their localization on it. And zirconium tetrafluoride dust. That one we already looked at. Lithium 2 CO3 compound. You can basically turn it back into the two components. This is the uranium tetrafluoride, which again is for that reactor. Uranium hexafluoride. One of these two, if not both, are byproducts that come out of the reactor. Don't remember which, or if it was both. But there is the chemical dehydrator. ULV machine components. So does that mean there's actually components for that grade? Oh yeah. ULV emitters, sensors, field generators, robotic arms, pumps, motors, and conveyors. So 160 liters a second for a ULV electric pump. One stack every 80 seconds for a conveyor module as a cover. Let's see what some of these use. So the ULV emitter is magnetic iron rods, vacuum tube, or vacuum tubes in a basic circuit, lead cables. The pump is going to be rubber rings, which I need to say something to him about it. They should also be able to use paper rings, because if you're in one of the newer updates, you can't make rubber in ULV. You'd actually be able to make an LV pump before you'd be able to make a ULV pump. Small lead fluid pipe, potent rotor, lead cables. The motor is just wrought iron, lead cables, and red alloy cables. Field generator actually uses lead wire instead of osmium wires. Vacuum tubes in a basic circuit. And then the sensor doesn't have a recipe for the sensor. There isn't a use for any of these in machines. So the ones that aren't covers, I'm guessing he's eventually going to use for something. But they're definitely not used yet. Add a small wrought iron gear if it doesn't exist. Change the sensors to use the old, albeit now fixed, GT-shaped recipe builder. Pollution-related content. He added a pollution detector. So, pollution detection device tells you if you're living in Guadalajara yet, whatever the hell that is. Shouldn't that be Swaller, not Guadalajara? Same thing. No recipe for it. Let's get off of all of these old recipes. Does not use any power apparently. It just tells you what your pollution is without a tricorder. Made the pollution detector free to run. Improved the pollution detector textures. Changes tooltip. Added atmosphere cleaners. That would be these here, the pollution scrubbers. Which again, no freaking recipe. So you have ULV to HV pollution scrubbers eventually. Let's see. Made the atmospheric reconditioners require air filters. They are non-automatable to insert. So let's look at what the filters are if they're in here. Fluid filter, filter machine casing, item filter, air filter tier 1, air filter tier 2, both with no recipes. So there's the filters that would go in them. Coal processing, you have coal tar, which is this stuff here. And you get it in a Pyroluce oven, 16 lignite coal, circuit set to 8. You get small pile of dark ash and 800 units of coal tar. You actually have the regular coal, 12 to 2200 coal tar. Coke will give you 3400. Coal tar has no use yet. I'm sure it will eventually. It can be done in his coke oven as well, which is this coke oven or the Pyroluce. Slowly making the production chain for 2 ethyl kiss my ass. Ethylene something is supposed to be coming out of this. No idea what. There's also a coal gas, apparently. Coal tar oil. No way of getting such a monster yet, but there is such a thing. And then there's also this sulfuric here, which again has no way of making it. The simple dust washer we already looked at. Accelerators, there's world accelerators from Greg Tech New Horizons was added. I'm guessing this would be similar to, is it like the Torchinello thing or whatever it is that makes things go faster, like crops grow faster, stuff like that. Accelerating things, radius 1 EU a tick, 96 speed bonus times 2. Use a screwdriver to change the mode to accelerate tile entities. This machine has to be adjacent to it. This machine accepts up to 8 amps. Accelerating tile entities doubles energy dependency. So 2 pistons, 2 motors, 2 robotic arms, conveyor module, and a pump and a casing will give you the basic world accelerator. And they go all the way up to UV. So same thing, just those components. So those actually have recipes now. Or actually have recipes. Each with a different radius and cost. Miscellaneous additions added better support for detecting valid fluids. Added a lithium plate if it doesn't exist. Added his custom circuits to the same ORDIC tags as the new ones, so they are interchangeable. Because he did add, let's see, UV. He did add these circuits before they were actually added in GregTech itself. So you have ULV. Say they're made with the old way of making circuits. So you have a ULV circuit board and a neutron-based circuit part in a regular assembler instead of a circuit assembler. And this is a silicon plate and etched ULV voltage wiring, which is osmium foil precision laser engraved to make the wiring. And then the neutron thing is a lazerite plate and LUV neutron-based microchips, which is a symbiotic circuit IV hammered into 5 of them. That is a lower tier circuit which uses vanadium gallium foil to make its wiring, and it's using a lazerite plate and energized crystal chips, which is hammering a nano processor, a master circuit. I'm wondering why it doesn't do any of the other master circuits, why it has to be the mainframe. I'll have to ask him if that's intended, or I'm guessing that this is an older recipe from before the circuitry change, and this is whatever the master circuit was. This is the one that took its place. So that's how his circuits work. And so they are now OR dictionary, so you should be able to use this in any of the places. Like here's the scanner. Crap. So scanner, you have the regular wetwares and stuff like that, and then you also have his in there as well. So if you have GT plus, you can use those circuits instead of some of the crazy ones that were added way at the top tier. Sulfuric coal tar seems a bit of an oxymoron. That's quite possible, yes. Let's see. Config switch to fully disable the GT++ circuits. So if you don't want the GT+ circuits, you can take it out with a config. He added, like I said, alkylus to the tooltips of many of the things he added, but not everything, because even the circuits don't have it. Most coke oven recipes are now duplicated to the Pyroluce oven, but not all of them. He added a configuration option for the biome ID. That's the biome that he added in the new dimension. Missed the texture for base components. Let's see. Miscellaneous changes. Changes to sieve logging. Updated industrial sieve tooltip. Tweaked frame spawn rate in dungeon. That's the mutagen frames. They were spawning way out of hand. Way better chance than like gold in temples. And gold should be like the best thing you can get in a temple, other than like bones and rotten flesh. Small hydrofluoric recipe tweaks. Buff the alloy blast smelter to be 20% faster than an electric blast furnace. Revise times for all GT++ alloys during smelting. Tweak the E-line steel components so they'd actually work. Segmented E-line steel ingot, a base component, and a full mix. That I showed a while back, but I'll show you here. E-line steel had an issue. Yes, there's a scaffold in there so nobody puts an extra battery in, because it's only got 8x wire. And if you put a 9th battery in there, it'd burn up my wire. So you have hot eagle-line steel, which comes from eagle-line steel dust, which is made with eagle-line steel base, sulfur, carbon, silicon, and then the base itself is the aluminum, nickel, chrome, and iron. So that's how you make your eagle-line steel now. Not real sure why he made it in hot ingot. I don't remember that being a thing last time. Because that means that you can't make any of the stuff out of eagle-line until basically the end of HB. So you can't make the tree farmer in MB with it being a hot ingot. What was the other thing that it can't make? The HV buffer core, which don't really need that in MB. High voltage fluid tank. The large sifter you can't make until HV. Yeah, that's the casings for it. So maybe he intended it to be HV only for that stuff. Let's see. Change components of eagle-line steel and compound. Change redstone alloy wire loss. Because there is a redstone alloy wire now. That would be these here that for some reason have a gray wire texture instead of a red wire texture. Not quite sure how it loses its color, but there it is. Its max volt is 32, so LV, and it is 1 amp. It is completely lossless though, LV wire. So you can run 8 and 12 amps through it completely losslessly with the redstone alloy, which this is the stuff from Ender.io. So you actually have to have Ender.io installed, I do believe, which is why we have Ender.io in this pack. Most of the Ender.io things are disabled, but it's basically just so we can have it for the dependency for GT++. Custom pipes now have the same extrusion times as GT, which is great because I've been giving him crap about that forever, that some of these pipes were really expensive to make. So you have his pipes being the stab alloy, which is 512 because it's made with tungsten. Tantalloy, which is 128. Tantalloy 61. Europium 128. Potent, which is 128. Margarine, which is 128. Icon 128. Haste is 128. The tungsten fluid pipe is 512. Dark steel is 128. Tiny clay, I actually think this should be on the same level as like rubber and that stuff because it's not really a metal. But it's 128 as well. And then lead is 128. So it's nice to see those pipes will now fit the same cost in an extruder as the regular GregTech pipes. Because I always felt the power ratings he had for some of these were a bit much, and it left you with less reason of using them. Let's see. Change the cost of multi-block controllers. So let's see. Some of these multi-block controllers were pretty rough. Let's see. Stack. I thought it was called the Stack Macerator. Right here. Maceration Stack Controller. So it's going to take universal macerators, which are only EV, and then 2 HV. They used to be like IV or some shit. And then a super circuit IV machine casing and tungsten carbide plates. So it's a little bit cheaper. It's not excessively cheaper, but it's a little bit. I know you had to have all white macerators before, so they were at least IV, UV, if I remember correctly. So that's nice. Let's look at the sifter. I don't remember exactly what that was. It's all MV components, except you can't make this until LV. Let's see, electrolyzer. Which is going to be EV machine casing and EV electrolyzer. Steelite plates. What the hell is steelite anyways? Okay. It's only made with steelite dust. So it's cobalt, chrome, titanium, and manganese. So that's not bad for EV. And then an ultimate circuit. And apparently it's locked onto just one of them. Isn't there other ultimate circuits? Wait a minute. Ultimate circuit is ZPM? Holy crap. I think he might need to change that one. And apparently that is the... So you can't make this until you can make... 9600 EU a tick circuit assembler. So maybe that one needs to be changed to a different circuit. If everything is EV, it doesn't need an ultimate circuit. I'll try to remember to say something to him about that one. There's also a centrifuge, which is now a molecular centrifugator, which is EV. Stainless steel, again with the ultimate circuits. Margarine, IV machine casing. So you can make it when you can make tungsten steel, but you have to have, like I said, 9600 EU a tick to be able to make the circuit for it. Because it doesn't even use his circuit like the macerator does, so I'll definitely have to say something about that. Rebalance some fluid pipes. Miscellaneous fixes, fixed byte settings, incorrect accelerator ID, tone down mutation rate of mutagenics frame to 5 times from 10 times, fixed issue where sensor recipes wouldn't generate correctly, fixed GregTech recipe builder not accepting blank spaces, fixed bad naming of fluorides, tweak the cost of custom pipes in the extruder, fixed recipes being added for disabled machines, causing a null pointer exception, and a whole bunch of freaking fixes that I don't even know what half of them are. He removed radon Disabled some unused GregTech tile entities. Disabled the crafting grid in the workbench. That would be this bronze workbench over here, which was allowing duplication issues. So you can't put anything in it. It doesn't work. So you can't duplicate shit until he can get it actually fixed and working properly, I guess. Stop the multi-tank storing its content. If you had the last update, all of these multi-tanks lost their GUI. They now have them back. So you can now actually see what is in the multi-tanks. So, quite nice. It was kind of funny that he actually disabled it without realizing that he disabled it, because he didn't actually give it to it in the first place. Let's see, remove some old textures that aren't used. Multi-block hatch texture fix. And then some special things for GregTech New Horizon. New Horizon, small fluid cell, and IC2. Rotor changes, change wind rotor, shaft recipes, change shaft shape graphics a bit, disable the large fluid cells if GregTech New Horizon is loaded, and some other stuff. So that is it for all of this. Yeah, usually when I do GT5 stuff or GT Plus stuff, it's usually late. This is actually my 4th stream of the day. I had my regular GT6 one this morning, and we did Unturned for an hour and a half, 2 hours at 5. We did Borderlands for about an hour and a half after that, and then decided to do this one. And Econ fell from a high place, so nice job.
I was looking at the wind turbines.
Ah.
Got a little too close.
Yeah, be careful up there. It's nice to see you must have slept in our bed down here in the basement.
Yep.
You like our fancy bedroom?
Oh, it is wonderful. Yeah, nothing like sleeping with all the chemical stores.
We go to a lot of work to make our bedroom very pleasant. Seems how we sleep all the time here. It was so bad that we actually didn't know where our bed was at one point. We couldn't remember where we had left it. We use it that little. We could put it over here by the lava tank. That way you stay nice and warm.
There you go. That's thinking that'd be wonderful.
Yeah. Wake up and bump into the lava tank. Be a nice way to wake up. Alright, so unless you have noticed anything else that's been changed or like to add something, I'm going to end it here.
Nope, that's it.
Alright, so thank you for the help with looking at these new changes.
No problem. We'll be on with you in the morning and Fear the Night.
Oh yeah, back to death and destruction. I'm actually going to head over there now to see if I can get some of that iridium vein mined up that NetMC found under our frickin' base.
Really? I saw the notifications when he found the vein. He was pretty excited. I didn't realize it was right under your base.
Apparently it's right underneath us. I can't find the shit for nothing. Give him like 5 minutes, he finds one right underneath us. So, anyways, have a good one, guys. Probably won't be doing too much tomorrow other than Fear the Night in the morning. Might do a little bit of TFC, but you can hear my voice. It's probably starting to get a little scratchy already from all the streaming today. I gotta relax it for Sunday, or else Sunday I'm not going to be able to talk for 12 hours. even though I'm probably going to sound worse than this by the end of it. For anybody that doesn't know, Sunday is our 12-hour, 1,000 subscriber tour of every server we can frickin' find that's still alive that we've been on since we started. I'm actually thinking that I might update my GT5 single player world, since that's the first one that I did that is still around, and actually give a tour of that one as well. But yeah, we'll be on Thylacraft Sunday morning at 9 a.m. on GT6, and then we'll go to Thylacraft GT5 once we're done at GT6, and we'll be back here and the GT6 main and the GT6 light server. I don't really know what reason we have to go to the light server. Not a whole lot to do there, but we might stop in. And we'll be ending it up at Fear the Night right about the time Econ can get on and come laugh at me for dying or falling out of a large tree that I decide to cut down, or that's about all I do.
Finale of death.
Yeah, that's about all I do is just either fall out of trees or die to his mobs.
Or spend the entire stream cutting down the tree.
Or spend the whole time cutting down the tree. Twice I've done that now, apparently. Yeah, Sean, you missed it. Hour and a half of looking up recipes, and you missed all of it. So, have a good one, guys.